What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Once again, welcome back to Faccis Cinema. Today, I am doing another patron request, once again, from my man, Austin Nickel, which you too, if you join my Patreon, you can throw out requests that you'd like me to do, and I will jump on those right away and get them done for you. He wanted me to review the movie X, the new 2022 horror film from Ty West, another A24 Studios film. He was kind enough, with the generosity of his heart, to rent it for me on YouTube and then allow me to watch it from his account. How awesome is that? How cool is that? That just by me doing this channel, an awesome person like you, Austin, would do that for me. Really appreciate it. Didn't expect anything like that when I started doing this, but I thank you, and I'm glad that I got to watch it finally. I had a great time with it. Me and the wife sat down and watched it last night, and today I'm going to dive into that and let you guys know my thoughts on X. All right, first off, let's start off by saying, currently right now on Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score on this movie is a 96%. That shit is certified fresh. The audience score is a 75%, so you're getting that golden bucket of popcorn. Deliciousness. Now, where do I lie in this discussion? You guys know me very well. You know what I like. You know what I dislike. You know I'm not an A24 guy. I'm not really into those movies. It was definitely interesting what I was expecting. I honestly had no idea what I was thinking when I walked into this movie. I knew it was part slasher. I knew it was set on like a porno type of feel. I didn't know how much of the porn aspect I was going to get in it. I didn't get as much as I thought I was going to get, if I'm going to be honest. I was anticipating a lot more of the pornography stuff throughout this film. But that's okay. Obviously, we don't need that in a film at all. So, but when you can see a little bit of the TNA, you're going to take it. And what we got was fairly decent. The aesthetic of the film, you're getting Ty West. So, he did House of the Devil. And that movie was supposed to take place in the 80s as well. It definitely had the aesthetic of an 80s look, an 80s feel. This one was late 70s. You got that 70s feel. Like the color grading, the grit on the screen, it definitely looked like it. It honestly reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like when it first started, I was like, what am I watching? Texas Chainsaw Massacre? With the police officers going through the house and whatnot. That's the vibes that I got from watching this. But let's just jump in real quick what the critics are saying. The critics' consensus are a fresh spin on the classic slasher formula. X marks the spot where Ty West gets resoundingly back to his horror roots. The audience says X isn't every horror fan's idea of a good time, but it's often unique and never boring. And I would agree with that as well. As this film goes, it's a porn crew. The actors and the few casts that they have, they're going to this like remote farmhouse to film their pornography called The Farmer's Daughter. And obviously being you get that corniness of a porn feel, everything in it reminds you of one of those old back in the day porn films. So that's fine with that. But obviously the beginning of this film is the setup. As soon as it starts, you get the ending. You know what I mean? You see, they just show the cops are at the place looking at the dead bodies, and then it goes to the current time, 24 hours earlier, and then progresses throughout the film. I like when films do that. I liked it here as well. I think this movie was about an hour and 40-some minutes, hour and 46 minutes, something like that. So it wasn't a bore to get through. I would say the first half of this movie with, you know, the character building and getting to where we needed to be, that was a little slow for me. I'm not really one of those kind of guys that likes to take my time to get there. I'm not a slow burn kind of guy. I like to just jump right into this shit and get going. But once you get to the later part of the second act and the third act, that's when it becomes a full-on slasher. And obviously this is spoiler-filled. The killers in this movie are nowhere near what I thought they were going to be. I never in a million years would have thought the killer would have been like an 80-year-old lady, you know, and then her, you know, I'm assuming 80-some-year-old husband. Never saw that coming. I didn't think they would have the savageness in them to do this. And obviously being an A24 film, of course, we got to see an old naked lady because that's just what A24 does. Why do you guys do that? I don't know. I don't need to see that. Nobody wants to see that unless you're an 80-year-old person. Then maybe you want to see it, but I don't. So you could leave that part out and it would have been perfectly fine. But obviously, you know, the woman wanted to be young and she wanted to be beautiful again, and that's like all she wanted to be throughout this movie. she saw the beauty in the porn stars, even though they were sinners and they were gutter trash, and she didn't like that, but they were beautiful, and I think she was jealous, and she remembers the days when her husband wanted her, and she was the most beautiful thing in his eyes, which later he goes on to say that she still is, and then that's when we get the disgusting old people sex scene that we never need to see again. But obviously throughout this film, just like in any slasher film, it does get to that point where it's take a person out one at a time until there's only one person left. So once it got to that part, I was definitely into it. The kills in this movie were great, for sure. The director of the porn shoot or whatever, like the manager, I don't know what he was. Oh man, he was looking through them holes, and he got the freaking pitchfork through the eyes, and then she just covered him up with the hay. That was badass. I like that a lot. Brittany Snow, I really couldn't believe that was her, like naked, like a lot. I would never have guessed that she would do that in a film, and I wasn't expecting it, but it was nice, nice little view, and we'll take it for what it is. Her kill, another one. She was trying to help out the old lady, unexpected. The old lady shoves her in the water, which we knew there was a crocodile in because we've seen it earlier, or an alligator, probably an alligator. And you don't, it's in there, but when it happens, it's like, damn, like, holy shit. Like, the kills in this movie were great. Some of them were so unexpected. RJ, he's leaving town because his girl, Jenna Ortega, who is now the scream queen out there in the freaking horror land, and she is amazing in anything she's in. She wants to have some fun and be in this film too. RJ's just not having it. He doesn't like it. He can't take it. That's his girlfriend, and he just witnessed her having sex with another man. And he's, he says, fuck it, and he tries to get out of there, but the old lady comforts him outside and starts hugging him and stuff, and then making him feel very uncomfortable. And she just starts stabbing the shit out of his neck, and blood is spraying all over the headlights of the vehicle, back to the neck, back to the vehicle. That was freaking savage shit, man. You didn't expect the kills that we did get in this film. And another one that shocked the shit out of me, Jenna Ortega. Just never seen that coming. I thought she was going to be the final girl of this film. I did not anticipate her getting taken out. As she's starting to run down that hallway and out that front door, and just gets blasted in the face with a shotgun. Wow, and then they zoom in on her face, the special effects. Her face is exploded. It looks amazing. She's not dead yet. So she's like still gurgling and shit, and then the old man has a heart attack. Whoa! I did not see Jenna Ortega dying. I thought she was going to be the final girl. Oh my gosh. But she was not. Unfortunately. I'm in love with Jenna Ortega. She is fantastic. But Mia Goth, her character Maxine, the girl on the poster with the X and the axe, she's actually the final girl. I didn't see that coming. I just assumed she would die. She was having sex. It's a slasher flick. They're always the first to go. But she didn't. She lasted. And I definitely, she had to stand up for herself. She was beautiful. She was a coke addict, obviously. She was always snoring that shit. But the old lady tried to shoot her with a shotgun, and the old lady fucking so much power blew her out the freaking door, dude. So Maxine goes out, picks up that shotgun, blows her away, and then runs her ass over with the truck, and then her head like busts apart. You can see it laying there on the ground, and then she just drives away, going back to wherever she came from to live her life and hopefully forget that this ever happened and never have to worry about this again. So it definitely had a real grindhouse feel to it, like back in the 70s. I definitely got those vibes. I appreciated that. The cinematography was great. I loved the atmosphere that we got. I loved the kills, the gore. I wasn't a huge fan of the killers. I don't know. It was shocking, yes, but when I watch slasher movies, I'm just that typical guy who wants the fucking guy in a mask. I'm boring, I know. I don't expand my horizons very often, but a little let down by the killers, even though I kind of get why they did it. Overall, I had a good time with it. I was never bored, except for early in the parts of the beginning, the character building stuff, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I had a good time with this movie. If I had to give this a rating, I would definitely give it a 3 out of 5 star rating, which for me That's not bad. That probably puts this as my favorite A24 film because I really don't like any of the others. So there you go, X. You did it. You did something. You're my number one A24 film of all time. Are you my number one film of 2022? No. My favorite horror film of this year still belongs to Scream. So we'll see if anything else can come along and take that top spot away from them. But I definitely had a good time checking this out. Thanks again, Austin Nickel, one of my patrons. You're the freaking man. Couldn't have done this one without you, for sure. If you want anything requested like Austin, definitely check out my Patreon. I will leave a link to that below. Make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you are not. And definitely ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. To get any notification anytime a new video drops or I am going live on a Wednesday night on a Fudge Monster Live. A watch until you drop. A Behind the Mask. Who knows which Behind the Mask will be live again this Wednesday night with my boy James Grimm. May 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be watching the original Friday the 13th. So let me know your thoughts below. What do you guys think about X? Did you dig it? Did you hate it? What'd you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Let me know. Let's have a discussion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a scary day.